Rhythm games are usually a fairly predictable genre. No matter what kind of backdrop or setting a rhythm game gives you, you're usually doing the exact same things. Tapping buttons that correspond to a line that corresponds to a song you're listening to that's got a sample on it that vaguely matches up to this rhythm of the music you're listening to. Of course, these aren't the only type of rhythm games, but when you think of a game where you have to do something like do the beat of a song, what do you really think of besides Guitar Hero or DDR? Maybe you might think of something a little more out of the norm, like Rhythm Heaven. Maybe something a little more niche and fan-driven like Osu, but generally, the biggest, most popular type of rhythm games are your DDRs and Guitar Heroes, or any fan-made recreation of those. Now, those games are fine. Sometimes it's nice that there's in fact a little more creativity into its genre, whether by using a setting to inspire creative gameplay mechanics, or vice versa, or simply by putting in an extra dose of humor in your game. It's more than just simple background graphics. This game does both. It's one of my favorite indie games of the last couple of years, and I'm going to attempt to explain why. Hi, my name is Ethan, and I'm going to be talking about Brace Yourself Productions, Crypt and NecroDancer. Much like the game itself, I'm not exactly going to be paying too much mind to the plot, but for prosperity's sakes, I will give a brief synopsis. Plays Cadence, another member of our family, searching for a father Dorian. He's been gone for about 2 years to search for a magical artifact known as the Golden Loot, which supposedly has the ability to bring back the dead, in order to revive his wife and Cadence's mother, Melody. As gameplay is the major focus of this game, and the plot is essentially just an excuse to get the player to get simple motivation to explain why their character is dancing around to the beat of his weird dungeon, it doesn't exactly have much of a pull, but it does give an excuse for both the designers and the voice actors to give performances. I only hope someone else will pick up this sort of concept and put a little bit more of a plot to it, since the concept is appealing to the raw addict in me. Speaking of audio, the game's second most important factor would be its soundtracks. It's possible to mod in extra soundtracks, or even spruce up the tracklist with any MP3s or OTPs you got. The soundtracks, yes, plural, in the game are good enough that I've been finding myself listening to the entire collection of them on those numerous occasions. I even listened to Vault's adaptation of the soundtrack, one of my personal favorites, while writing this. Now, I can't speak for the objective audio quality side of things, since I'm walking off cheap headphones and no expertise. For the subjective opinion side of things, the soundtracks are head-bobbingly addictive, and the game would suffer greatly if your first experience is not using the initial Danny Baranowski album. The rest of the soundtracks consist of multiple different internet musicians remixing the soundtrack into their own styles. A-Rival does an electric dance remix, Family Thrones does metal covers, a beepy MIDI-like melody is done by Jake Vault Kaufman, and Kaufman Records goes for an 80s synth soundtrack. Some of the remix tracks aren't as catchy as the rest of them, but all-around quality that oozes from the collection, and I'd be sad if I had to miss any of them in this game. If you're getting this game, and you should at the time of this review, games are on sale for less than $4, and ordinarily it's only around 15, you should pick it up with the soundtrack included. With the music being such a key aspect of rhythm games, this being no exception, it's no surprise so much love and care seem to have been pumped into this aspect. The soundtrack isn't the only part of the presentation that aims to please and score the bullseye, though. The sprite work in this game is excellent, absolutely satisfying my itch for well-done pixel art. The animation is nicely smooth, and the designs take the torch of the game concept and the creativity and really sprint with it. The skeletons lift their arms up when they're ready to attack, creating a very distinct dance style for the enemy type. Slimes are both cute and a little intimidating with their blank stare. The Minotaur bosses do a good job of looking large without using up too much screen space. It's all punctuated with the way the floor of the dungeon flashes on and off in chessboard pattern and hit your coin multiplier combos, giving off a total dance floor vibe while encouraging you to keep it up. All in all, it's a very nice visual style. Utilizes pixel art in a way that's ultimately more than just cutting corners and saving casts. And to be honest, I'm not sure the game would be quite the same with any other style. Which tends to make any sprite mod you might pick up pretty restrictive, as it's difficult to impossible to deviate from this style, and if it's done right, it would mean you'd have to do the same for everything else, too, to keep it consistent. Guessing about the soundtrack and graphics aside, there's no point to the game if the gameplay itself isn't fun. At that point, it might as well just be an album. Well, I'm glad to say the gameplay is just as addicting as the soundtrack itself, if not more so. Cadence controls is a pretty hefty restriction thanks to your inability to move diagonally, but it's still enjoyable to control nonetheless. Everything the player does is done through the arrow keys. Using items, bombs, and spells is done with combinations. Picking up new weapons, stuff with an armor is done by just walking over it, and you leave it behind, so you can even pick it up later. Buying is done in the same way, provided you have enough coin. And as for attacking, it's just a matter of being within range and moving towards the enemy. All in all, the game is simple enough to be easy to pick up, but provides just enough for the player to do, just the right way, that if you die, it's generally your own fault, not because of bad game design. Of course, how do you start playing? There are 3 different ways to play, and the first, and probably best for you if you're new to it, is the single zone mode. Instead of going through each of the various zones until you reach the final boss, you just have to go through the 3 levels composing each of one of the zones, and then a boss. Plus you have access to any of the upgrades you buy in the lobby. The second, and my personal favorite, is all-zone mode, and by extension, story mode and the daily challenge. Instead of stopping at just one zone, you play until you either die, or until you get to the NecroDancer and beat your run. No restrictions are in this mode. You just have whatever the game would have, depending on what the developers say. The sword, and by far the one I've played the least, are the challenges. Simple scenarios where you can hone your skills on defeating a single enemy, and either the 4 or mini-bosses. In simple terms, I'd say single zone runs are best for if you've only got half an hour to spare, all zones are best for when you want to just play a full game, and challenges are ideal for those bite-sized pockets of free time, where you're not sure what to do. Combined, all of these elements lead to an extraordinarily unique roguelike that I'm happy to say absorbed my attention for far longer than it really should have, and it was enough for me to want to sing my praises about just how good it was with this video. The first DLC is going to come out next January, and it'll probably be out by the time you watch this. And unless it's ruined things so much that it somehow removes all of these great elements, I would absolutely recommend that too. If purely just for the fact that the extra zone means the game will run even longer. Not only that, but it will include another extra soundtrack, done by the Overclocked Remix group, and extensions done on the already existing soundtracks to include the new zone and boss. Even ignoring the enormous level of potential for this game in the future, the Steam version of the game allows you to use all sorts of mods, from sprite swaps, quality of life tech changes, soundtrack swaps, and total conversions of all of the above. And even without that, the package you can pick up right now is absolutely worth the $15 it normally costs. Whether or not you're a casual player, this game will likely occupy you for weeks at a time. So, with that in mind, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that I absolutely recommend Crypt of the NecroDancer. If you've got the money to spare, pick it up, and if not, save money for it. And there it was, Crypt of the NecroDancer. Hearty thumbs up for me. Go buy it, it's amazing. But besides that, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I had fun making it. If you have any feedback or suggestions on how I should improve this, besides my voice, I know I have a stutter on a speech impediment, working on it. Let me know. If you want to say hi or anything else to me, do it in the comments or send me a message. So I can't really think of anything else to say, but I would really appreciate it if you, even if you didn't subscribe, or if you didn't like it, because I'm not going to force you to like it or anything, just give it your own opinion. But I do want you to give me feedback. I'm brand new to this, brand new to video editing, I hope I did okay on that. Brand new to trying to get the audio to sound right, just figured out how to fix voice in Audacity. This makes me wish I could fix everything else in Let's Plays, but I'm taking a break from that. But besides that,
think I learned a lot from this, and I hope to do it again. Expect to see some kind of easy, weird, unique game next time. Because NecroDancer, even though it's unique, is pretty big, at least in indie circles, so I want to cover something a little less known. But that's for the future. You'll see that later. For now, Merry Christmas, and I hope you're having a good one.